Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope in Nigeria, and the new Nigeria is certainly possible. Now, good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on our time zone. Today, we've come to discuss a lot of questions coming out of the Labour Party's convention, P2B's absence, and all questions about what the BOT of our Labour Party are doing, as they have sent a memo out outrightly sacking and disowning the convention that happened yesterday. Why was Alex Oti not physically present but represented? All of these things are coming at this very hour. We also have the issues surrounding the 313 suspected terrorists that are being released to Borno State government at this hour. How are they going to come into the society to join the Nigerian people when we are still under the attack of the bandits and the terrorists? All of this. Plus, coming up at this very hour, Binance executive that are suing the Office of the National Security Advisor because of their being detained without being sent to court, and also the one that flee out of the country being chased by the Interpol. All of this we are going to bring, and many more. And I'm not the only one to have this discussion. I have Divine in the studio.
One more comment. Thank you for joining us on today's episode. We're so glad to have you.
As you are joining us on this episode, please kindly give us a thumbs up. That is the most we will be requiring as at now for us to be moving forward. We crave that indulgence from all Obedience worldwide. Like and share the Obidient Family TV broadcast so that we can continue to be bringing all of this every day to you. Please do like and share. Let's start with the conversation. Yesterday, as we know, at Nnewi, Anambra State, a lot of questions regarding this convention conveyed by Barrister Abure's LP. And as we can see in this very particular event, so many people attended. Even Alex Oti sent a representative. And so the questions that are coming out from here is that His Excellency P2B was not in attendance. Some people, propagandists, always come out to say that he absconded from this very particular event, but that is not the case. That are people who wish to bring this harmony amongst us, and we want to bring it to you to understand that the questions that keep coming to us at Obidient Family TV to explain why P2B was unable to attend that is left for P2B to come and explain, which we know in due course is going to address Obedience on this. We are not in the position to state clearly why, but there are obvious reasons. Before this very particular convention, we do understand that P2B had asked the leadership of the Labour Party to consult extensively, to reach out to all the leaders, be it in the House of Reps, the Senate, and all of that, so that he could carry everybody along, which obviously he did to an extent, because we also got information and reports that he also, that Abure team also visited Alex Oti, the governor of Abia State, who also changed, or rather, told them to extend the timing for the convention, which obviously was not done. And instead of having that convention at Umuahia, which was earlier scheduled, were moved to Nnewi, Anambra State. Now, some people are insinuating that it is P2B that asked this Labour Party to come and do this convention in Anambra State. But that is not the case, as they choose to be, actually, Nnewi happens to be the home base of the, I think, National Publicity Secretary or something like that. And so it is not of P2B to tell them where to do the national convention. But we believe that in due course that he is going to come out to explain all of that. But as some people has also been asking questions, which Divine has graciously answered to some of our people online, let me also bring her into this discussion so that she can also share her experience on the question that people are asking why P2B was not at that event of yesterday.
Well, to be honest, I think his presence at the at the convention was going to give some form of credibility to Abure's faction of the party. And even though the Supreme Court actually reinstated him or actually told him that, you know what,
Court
you are
of
actually
Appeals.
sorry, I stand to be corrected actually. Anyways, the Court of Appeal actually reinstated him as their national chairman and all of that. But like he rightly said, His Excellency P2B had rightly told them to involve other stakeholders in the party, and he had not done that. So it would have been a very favoritism move, or a move that would actually have given some form of legitimacy to the convention. And so we understand why he had stayed away, but like we said, we don't speak for him, and so we're actually waiting on him to come out and share his thoughts as to what the reason why he wasn't at the national convention. And speaking of which, INEC had actually rejected this national convention from the Labour Party, said it was a sham and they were not going to actually give any form of legibility or credibility to it because the venue was changed, and that they needed, according to the rights or the current laws guiding INEC, that they were meant to actually give them at least a 21-day notice before they actually changed the date and the venue of the location. But anyways, they didn't do that. But all of this is just internal drama going on with the Labour Party, and we hope that they are able to sort this out so as to be the vehicle in which His Excellency P2B decides to use. But like I said yesterday, if he decides to ditch them or not use them, we are not investing in the party, we are investing in His Excellency P2B's ideologies.
Yes, and again, let's be clear on certain things. The issue of INEC complicity with this very particular convention is due to external forces, and the PO, His Excellency P2B, has always said that external forces are bent on frustrating the ideology that we all have through the Labour Party, and that they are going to come after him, and they are going to come after many of our followers. So when we see these things coming out from the NLC, coming out from the BOT, coming out from everywhere, there is somewhere that is being, somebody somewhere is actually pushing this. Let's take a look at what the Board of Trustees of the Labour Party did as at yesterday. There's a press release they brought. Now, whether this Board of Trustees are still standing, that is yet to be seen. But let's take it one after the other. They say, following the expiration of the tenure of the office of the immediate past National Working Committee of the Labour Party, headed by Mr. Julius Abure, the Board of Trustees of the Labour Party, in line with the Labour Party's constitution, has stepped in to steer the affairs of the Labour Party. This step is to avoid any leadership vacuum in the Labour Party. Furthermore, the Board of Trustees of the Labour Party, in consultation with major stakeholders in the party, will soon communicate the process for the conduct of an all-inclusive, expansive national convention of the Labour Party. This is in line with the March 2018 Federal High Court consent judgment delivered by Justice Gabriel Kolawole, which recognized the Nigerian Labour Congress as the owners of the Labour Party and mandated that an all-inclusive and expansive national convention of the Labour Party be held. The decision of the Board of Trustees is also in furtherance of the agreement signed between the former national chairman of the Labour Party, Mr. Julius Abure, and the National Labour Congress, NLC, and the Trade Union Congress on 27 June 2022, which was mediated by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. While we commend members of the Labour Party, especially workers and other people who are all joined to do the needful, for the conduct of an inclusive and expansive national convention, unlike the charade that took place today in Nnewi, and in tandem with the principles of popular democracy, the all-inclusive national convention will start with grassroots congresses at ward, local government, state, and ultimately at the national level. This process will not leave any genuine member of Labour Party out and will be held in the full view of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Media, civil society, security agents, and the general public We commend the leader of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, and key stakeholders in the Labour Party for declining to deodorize the malfeasance that took place in Nnewi with their presence. Let me end this here. That is coming from Comrade SOZ Ejiofor. Now, both at this very convention, there's one thing that is very, very clear. Peter Obi was acknowledged at this very particular event that took place at Nnewi. He was given a vote of confidence by the BOT, the NWC, the outgoing and the all incoming, and they all pledged allegiance to His Excellency Peter Obi, saying that he is their option for 2027. Now, we thank them for that, and we also thank the BOT that wrote this very particular memo or press release for also recognizing that Peter Obi is very, very important for the growth of this party and also for making it go. We thank both of them. We also thank the NLC, TUC, and all the parties who are doing their best to see how they all come together. But in all, we are still waiting for His Excellency Peter Obi to address the issues that are in the lips of every Obidient, which is where and how are we headed. So redefining the options will continue to push the way forward. So that is for the people who are coming up with different questions for us to answer as regards the absence of Peter Obi's convention and the significance of that, we may not at this time tell you that this is what His Excellency Peter Obi has said as regarding this convention, but we know that in due course of time that he will come out and explain it not just to the Obedience alone, but to all well-meaning Nigerians. So that we'll keep that by the side and then proceed to other things that we have, as we also have other things that are happening in the country today that needs attention, especially what happened yesterday as Chief Bola Tinubu attended the burial of the 17 officers and men of the Nigerian military who were slain at Delta State some weeks back. Now, coming out from that very place, we have several people were, posthumous awards were actually conferred on these officers, and also something did take place. They're not minding what Bayo or Nanuga said about trying to characterize that very event, a mourning event, as an event where they could all celebrate, so to speak. So let's take a listen to what actually transpired there. We'll come back for a little discussion on it, as we know that they awarded scholarship to the children of these very officers and soldiers, and the Chief of Army and Chief of Defense Staff vows to avenge the death of these soldiers. And they actually named 8 persons to be culpable. They declared 8 persons wanted, and I guess one of them, when you look very well, you see where the governor of Bayelsa State head is also named as one of them. But let's take a listen to what the video that is coming out from there, and then we'll come back to the discussion.
Bola Tinubu expressed the gratitude of the country for the sacrifices of the armed forces. He bestowed posthumous honors on the fallen officers and soldiers, and also announced a welfare package for the bereaved families.
It is now our duty to protect the families of our departed heroes. The federal government will provide housing in any part of our country to each of the families of the 4 officers and 13 soldiers that were among them. The federal government has also approved scholarship to all children of the deceased up to university level. Including those who are in the womb.
The brutal killing of 4 officers and 13 soldiers by militants in Okwama community of Delta State portrays the security situation in the country and the efforts by the armed forces to keep the country safe. The army chiefs insist this time around perpetrators of this heinous atrocity must be identified, arrested, and severely punished.
As tasked by Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of our Armed Forces, the Nigerian Army, with the assistance of its sister services and other security agencies, is committed to bringing the perpetrators of the Okwama murder to book and recover all service and personal belongings taken from the murdered troops.
We will honor your memory by continuing the fight against those who seek to undermine our peace and security. We will remain steadfast in our resolve to build a nation worthy of your sacrifice. This sacrifice will not go in vain.
Divine, let me get straight to you due to the course of time. As we spoke earlier, you highlighted the fact that Chief Bola Tinubu had given scholarship up to university level and housing for the 4 officers, wives and children and all. You think that is enough for these families, or more should have been done?
Well, it's definitely not enough, but it is a start, right? Because they have lost the breadwinners of their families, and previous reports showed that they had dependents, including some aged parents and all of that. So we would not say that is the happiest thing that's happened to them, because losing a person's father or losing someone's son or brother is already as hard as it gets. But I mean, kudos to them for actually doing something about it, and hopefully it is not audio or propaganda. Hopefully they actually carry it out to the later, because it's one thing to just come out and announce a scholarship, and it's another thing for them to actually benefit from this scholarship.
Yeah, I'm also wondering why the people of 25th that were buried on the 25th of August last year, that were also soldiers, I'm wondering why they are not included on this very package that Bola Tinubu had to offer.
Well, it brings us back to the all animals are not equal talk, right? So from the looks of it, no life is more important than some, but this administration seems to think different, to be very honest. Apparently this one actually garnered a lot of popularity and a lot of force from the media, so it probably explains why they are actually trying to do something, because this is an opportunity for them to gain cheap clout. After all, we already saw what his advisor Bayo Nanuga came out to say. Basically, by going there, he not only does his duties, but he's actually trying to score some actual points, in the sense of, oh, a government, or rather a president that cares, right? So we understand why it was actually very convenient for them to actually do something about this, because yes, they are doing the right thing, yes, they are actually doing what is necessary to be done, but it's actually a situation of using one stone to kill 2 birds, because they do the right thing, by extension gather some popularity.
Okay, and let's looking at it again from the fact that our soldiers, our gallant soldiers, are actually fighting insurgency, especially in the north. And now news coming out from north is that in Borno State precisely, that about 313 suspected terrorists are released by court, according to the army commandant. Are they? I mean, is it being sensitive or insensitive at this very time that they are actually in the mourning time? They are mourning the officers that have been slain. And we know that more soldiers are being slain in these fields. Why are they releasing 313 not suspected? They say they are known terrorists.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, earlier during the week, we actually got reports of over 200 that was actually released. So this week, it has been a lot of releases going on, especially with the Boko Haram terrorists. Those people, they said they were cleared of wrongdoing in their own words. But this one, we didn't hear that they were cleared of wrongdoing. But whatever the intelligence or the reason is behind that, then they should be able to explain that to the public. Because like you rightly said, we don't know how much of a wise decision this is to actually release them, seeing that the ones that we have outside are already, causing terror and causing a lot of havoc. So we don't know how smart it is. We got different videos.
Yeah, like the one that is being going on the screen right now has to deal with bandits who are actually displaying all kind of things and making the government demand that they are going to clear certain facilities in the north and all of that. And it's just that they have so much impetus to show their face and then to threaten the federal government of Nigeria, and our own army is now still releasing their own people who we know are part of them doing this evil. And causing this menace in the society?
Well, we've always had an antecedent of this APC-led government actually releasing bandits. This is not the first time. We had different situations, even during the past few years, where they released them and said they were repented, terrorists. And I don't know how that sounds, because it's like saying this person is known to be a killer and a murderer, and this person is known to wreak havoc, and then you come out to say that they are repented. So anybody can repent, but the point is that they should be able to face the consequences of their actions. So releasing these people, 313 and then 200, is just very tone deaf, because we should be able to nip this in the bud. Even if for whatever reason you want to release them because you think they've been cleared of wrongdoing, because you understand that in the heat of trying to nip banditry in the bud, there are probably a couple of innocent people who got arrested, right? But at the same time, you should send them straight to a correction facility and not to back to the public, because who knows, now they can wreak more havoc, and then nobody will
put them in some sort of an IDP and all of that. So, but the military has come out to say that it's the court that is actually releasing these very 313 bandits who are known bandits, according to the reports that are coming in. But again, while we're on this very topic, we want to also inform you that Binance has hit back at FG. This time around, the executives are suing the Office of the National Security Advisor. So this is coming at this very hour. And of course, if you recall that few days ago, the same NSA announced an escape of one of the Binance executives, but now a lawyer has appeared before the Federal High Court in Abuja, I think precisely Justice Ekwo's court, to plead that they are being held in contravention of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. How that applies or how that is going to work out, we seek to see. But before we enter the studio, you were also of an opinion that this Binance executive that they are talking about being escaped may not probably be available right now. And let's hear it from you.
Well, basically, my point was just that, this is just a charade, to be very honest, right? Because we do not even support, or personally, I don't support, let me not speak for, anybody, but personally, I didn't support the detention in the first place, because whatever it is that they said were being investigated, terrorism financing and all of that, could have been done without bringing them into custody, right? Plus, they were all unfounded claims. But that's besides the point. The thing is, they've hit back and they said, that their human rights are being actually violated and that they need to let them go, right? So aside the fact that the NSA have already come out to say, we're working with Interpol to bring back these people have actually hit back, not just one, not just the escaped detainee, we also have the one who is currently in custody. His lawyer has actually sent a petition, or rather sued the Nigerian government and also NSA. So we're just actually watching to see how all of this unfolds in the next couple of days.
Okay, my question to you said your personal opinion.
Right.
Now my question to you is, supposing this Binance executive that is said to have eloped or escaped, supposing he is never found again, what happens? Who is responsible?
Well, to be honest, the NSA, because, they were the ones who he was last seen with, or rather the last custody they had with him, to be very honest. So if Binance decides to hit back on them, as in saying, provide our employee or provide somebody that's from the last available information that you were with, then they are very well in their rights to actually say, provide this person, because it is necessary. When you detain somebody, you have to at least, put proper security checks in place to make sure they don't escape and that their lives is not in danger, because whether or not that you think they are responsible for whatever crime, they are still well within their rights to actually be safe. So if this Binance escapee actually doesn't come out again, Binance is very well in their rights to actually tell the Nigerian government to provide their employee.
So Nigerian government is responsible if the Binance executive, the escaped Binance executive is not found. Well, the Office of the National Security Advisor be advised, as lawyers has taken up this case, and of course we know that the lawyers who has taken this case have been paid heavily to do their job, and of course they are going to do it, because the office that manages this very particular going to court for the government, they seem incompetent, because for what happened in Brunei that is where I said they are incompetent. Why would 313 bandits be released by court because they could not prove one or two others when the army has declared that these people are terrorists, not just bandits, but terrorists? So that's why I said they are incompetent. If they go handling this matter again, then time has come for the NSA's office to produce the missing Binance executive. Well, that is wrapping up what we have for today. But before I leave, I must also inform you, your mother do muimu.
Oh, well, I just thought it was necessary to mention that Lagos State government has actually refused to actually follow Governor Alex Oti's lead in actually cancelling the pension for, you know, their ex-governors. And I just thought it was interesting and it was worthy of mention because they said that, you know, they don't have to actually work with what Governor Alex Oti is doing or work with what Abia State is doing. They actually refused to follow his example. They said it wasn't a priority, but it is just worthy to note that these ex-governors actually have an allocation, or rather are entitled to houses in Abuja and Lagos, and 6 cars changed for them every 3 years. They have an allowance for security and allowance for personal assistance, different benefits that runs into millions and actually increases the cost of governance yearly. What
are you expecting when Chief Bola Tinubu happens to be their boss and is the person who is leading at the Aso Rock and this cabinet? He is from Lagos State and he is one of the people that initiated this very process. Right. There is no way any governor comes in on his watch is going to repeal that act. It's not going to be possible. So that's why I see that very news and I feel it's really not something that is so fantastic because everybody has applauded Alex Oti, and we know as Nigerians, not just Obidient, but as Nigerians, that it's wrong. You understand me? To continue to be enriching people who are already rich because they have already profited from that very environment. That is the Lagos State Treasury and every other state. Right. So for them not to have gone ahead, it takes willpower for someone to take such an action. And definitely it's not going to happen in Sanwo-Olu, who is a rubber stamp governor, who is operating under the godfatherism of Chief Bola Tinubu. So it's not going to happen. Definitely. But since you have extended our time, I'm going to move quickly to good thing that is happening, because when we talk about the good one, we also talk the one that is good. Some people are doing something fantastic in Kanu State, giving out food today at this very Ramadan season where fasting is ongoing. Still ongoing both for the Muslim brothers and also for the Christian who are also in their fasting season. Let us have a look, or let's take a listen to what is happening over there as they are sharing food items, food baskets, and hunger, trying to reduce the hunger that is going out in that very huge city of Kanu State. Let's take a listen.
Food items such as rice, beans, flour, tomato paste, vegetable oil, seasoning cube, and salt are up for distribution to these vulnerable Kanu residents, drawn from the 44 local government areas of the state. Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, Zubaida Umar, while launching the distribution of the items donated by the King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center, said it will help to cushion the economic downturn faced by the people. Zubaida, who was represented at the function, noted that the donation of the food items was timely as it coincided with the holy month of Ramadan.
Today we are here to witness yet another flag of ceremony for direct distribution of 2,056 food baskets donated by KS Relief Center to cater for 2,056 households selected from various communities in Kanu State. The food baskets will be handed over to the already enumerated individual household.
Deputy Governor of the state, Aminu Abdusalam, who monitored the distribution of the items, said the gesture came at the right time for the people of the state. He urges the beneficiaries to make good use of the items to give succor to their families.
It is Ramadan period, and we thank God and we thank our business community for rising up to the occasion and coming of our less privileged citizens are enjoying the beneficiaries to judiciously use the donated items given to them for themselves and their families' well-being.
This aid comes as an extension of the relief and humanitarian efforts provided by the government of Saudi Arabia under the leadership of King Salman, under the leadership of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud and His Highness the Crown.
The beneficiaries commended the donors for coming to their aid at such a time.
For the properties they bring to us, Kano State here. We are here to thank all of them from Kano State. Thank you.
It is hoped that many well-to-do will heed the Sultan's call and reach out to those in need.
Actions of these people in Kano State, I think, needs to be commended, especially as the hunger is actually hitting everywhere and reactions are coming from left, right, and center. I think other people should also emulate this and do it across the state, because we're not seeing state government doing those things, even when they say they have released grants, and this is what we're expecting to see everywhere from the federal government, but we're not seeing it.
Well, I just want to actually mention that this is probably the most organized, palliative sharing I've actually gotten to see, to be very honest, because we've seen so many things. We know the one that happened in Nasarawa State, people lost their lives, the one in Zamfara, the one in Bauchi, the one in Lagos. It is just a lot of, irregularities that mar these processes. So it's just good to see that at least some people are able to actually not just give, but give with a decorum, because at least we see how everywhere is arranged, everybody is, properly in line to get these things, and so no lives were lost. And I think the Nigerian government and state government should actually follow suit. Yes,
so we expect that all these promises of sharing of grains and release of 42 metric tons and all of that, we have not seen such, but we are seeing individuals, corporate organizations doing their social responsibility programs. So we expect more people to go across, and even the one of Lagos State that said they're giving 25% discount, not much has been heard about that. Why is it that everything that has to do with the state governments is not going to be seen anywhere? Why is it not like this one? It's very open and everybody is seeing. The numbers are, glaring for everybody to see, done in transparent manner. But anyway, obedience. Let's focus on what the structure we have been talking about. So let's look at the Obidient Family Cooperative Society. As I said yesterday, one of us, an Obidient, has volunteered to pay the registration fees for all Obidient Family Cooperative registrations in those states. Yes. Edo State, one of us. And I want you, if you are in Edo State, to just go to your either Ministry of Commerce or you go to your local government secretariat to find out how to get these things registered across board. These are the things that you see when you get them registered that will be offered to you. So we have our own people who are supporting this initiative by donating money and also by supporting directly to their own states. So some of them, we've seen the one of Delta State, we've seen the one of Edo State. Those are the people who are coming out to say if there is any registration, anybody who has arranged a cooperative, a minimum of 10 persons to get it registered, that they are willing to fund that. And further, after they have registered, they will support them with doing different kind of business initiatives that they want to go into. So please, do indulge and participate and be part of this very noble thing being done by the Obidient family. This is exclusively obedience. 1 million Nigerians are also encouraged to join us at this very time as we build a strong grassroots structure across all the whole local governments in Nigeria. It starts with the foundation, the proper registration of the Obidient Family Cooperative Society across the 700 and something local governments in Nigeria. Please do. We have people who are supporting. So for some of the people who has gotten the whole something, go to the community platform right now. Give all the details of the registration. I've gotten a few people who actually has gone across to their Ministry of Commerce and local government to get these things done, and they have reached out to me And my word is, go to the platform, drop it for everyone to see, and we have people who are supporting the Obidient Family Cooperative Society through the already registered one that is on the description. The bank information is there, the account number is there. If you wish to support other people who doesn't have money to get it registered in their different states and local governments, do cooperate and join the funding. Whatever, no amount is too small. The account number for Cooperative Society is there. That is the one we are using for now to do registration. And anyone that is being done is to be seen at the community, which is the WhatsApp community where we are, and again brought to the meeting that happens every Saturday by 9 p.m. We'll be sending the link in by tomorrow for the meeting against Saturday. So do join us at the community by clicking on the link to join the WhatsApp community platform. And also, if you wish to support the registration, just the registration of the states, also please do probably credit the account that is there. The account is on the description. Is Obidient Family Cooperative Society, and the account number is there, is Fidelity Bank. Whoever, no amount is too small, because we keep financing those local government that does not have money to make this registration, which is the starting point. We must build the foundation. Thank you very much for now. Until we come your way again this evening. Bye for now.
Father. 287 students between the ages of 7 and 12 that were kidnapped from Kuriga in Kaduna on March 7th in broad daylight, have been released by bandits. Oh, praise the Lord, somebody. Congratulations to their parents and to Nigeria as a country. But my people, too many things are not making sense when you take a critical look at the peripheral level of this equation. Then, when these students were kidnapped, my people, the school said 287 students were kidnapped from the primary and the secondary school, but the governor said it is only 137 students. We were like, who do we believe? And then they said 287 were released.
287 students abducted have been freed.
All 287 of the school students abducted in northern Nigeria earlier this month have been freed.
And I'm like, I guess we now know who is lying. But more importantly, guys, how did bandits successfully kidnap almost 300 students in Kaduna, a state with the highest concentration of national security, national intelligence, the defense infrastructure, and the military institutions in the country? Kaduna, we have about 13 military institutions in Kaduna. When you think about schools and military bases, Nigerian Army Depot, Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Nigerian Air Force Training School, Nigerian Police College, Nigerian Police Command, Nigerian Navy School of Armament, the Nigerian Army School of Legal Services, Nigerian Defense Academy, Nigerian Army School of Artillery, Nigerian Army School of Military Police, Army Operation Base, and the Nigerian Army School of Infantry. Yet, bandits with no military training successfully passed by several military institutions with 287 students. Like how, who, what, where? As it is, we've had 68 mass kidnappings this year alone, with more than 1,800 people kidnapped. In fact, SBM Intelligence, that's a geopolitical research consultancy in Nigeria, collated the number of mass kidnappings that we've had since 2019. Look at the number, guys. And it keeps going up every year. Again, the state with the highest number of kidnappings in the country is this same Kaduna that has all these military bases, military schools, followed by Zamfara, Niger, Katsina, Borno, and then FCT, the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. I was like, hey, it shocked me. Guys, kidnapping has become a lucrative business, which brings me to my next point. So, did we pay ransom to get these students released or not? Remember that the kidnappers were asking for 1 billion naira, $600,000 at the time, while threatening to kill those students if they don't get paid. And Mr. President said publicly that not a dime will be paid to get these students back. They said that they were released. They did not say that they were rescued. So I'm like, so did they just talk to the bandits? And the bandits were like, here, you can go. Which would mean that some people know those that were behind the bandits, so they probably talked to those people. In any case, guys, I'm tired. Because some people we're not as lucky as this student. So many people have died. And what is paining me is that our leaders don't really know that there is a huge problem. I mean, when the governor of Kaduna visited the village where these kids were kidnapped, this is what he said.
I absolutely have every confidence that every child will be returned home. When I visited the community, the entire community were really happy with my visit.
I mean, I know he said other things, other good things. I'm not disputing that, but when I visited the community, the entire community was really happy with my visit. Like, what? How's that? I mean, if they actually get it, no school in Kaduna will look like these schools. I mean, look at the ceilings inside the classrooms. Just imagine sending your child to a place like this to learn. Would these governors, these leaders, would they send their children there? The dilapidated walls. Guys, if these leaders actually care about these communities, instead of seeing themselves as celebrity that people should celebrate when they come visiting, they would fix these schools. How much will they take? And they will concentrate on eradicating poverty so that people are not kidnapping other people. So really, do you think that we paid the kidnappers or we fought to get these kids? Also, what can we do to end this kidnapping epidemic? Because I'm starting to get tired. It is becoming rampant in many parts of the country.